I'm a member of an online Christian community, and we meet from time to time to study a book of the Bible. We're currently studying Acts of the Apostles, and today's chapter 18. Today's summary is going to be very brief and straight to the point. In this chapter, Paul arrived in Corinth, and he stayed with a man called Aquila and his wife Priscilla, working with them as a tent maker. As usual, he preached the gospel in the synagogues on Sabbath, and the Jews opposed him. So he told them that he's going to leave them alone, and if they are lost, it will not be his fault. So he turned to the Gentiles, and many Corinthians believed his message. On one night, Paul had a vision in which the Lord told him, and I quote, "Do not be afraid, but keep on speaking and do not give up, for I am with you. No one will be able to harm you, for many in this city are my people." That's Good News Translation. Paul stayed in Corinth for a year and a half, and the Jews at one time seized him and took him to court. They told the court that he was persuading people to worship God in a way that was against the law. But the Roman governor at the time, called Gallio, said that he found no fault with Paul since it wasn't an evil crime, and since it was a matter of words and laws, they should settle it amongst themselves. After this, Paul stayed with some believers in Corinth, and then when he was done, he sailed to Ephesus with Aquila and Priscilla. Paul taught the believers in Ephesus for a while, and he was ready to leave, but they wanted him to stay longer, so he told them that if it was God's will, he would come back. From there, he sailed from Ephesus, he went to Caesarea, he went to Jerusalem, greeted the church there, then he went to Antioch, and he went to a couple of other places, strengthening and teaching believers there. After this, we are introduced to a man called Apollos, who the chapter describes as an eloquent speaker. He was someone that was brought up in the way of the Lord. He knew the scriptures, was very knowledgeable in the scriptures, and he was proclaiming the scriptures to people. But his knowledge was limited in the sense that he knew only of the baptism of John, or he knew only till the baptism of John. So Aquila and Priscilla took him and taught him about the works of Christ. So he became even more loud and more bold in proclaiming the gospel, and he started teaching people about Jesus Christ from scriptures. I like to read something that the chapter said. This is talking about Apollos. He says, "For with his strong arguments, he defeated the Jews in public debates by proving from the scriptures that Jesus is the Messiah." That's where the chapter ends. I think that's my favorite part of the chapter because it made me interested. How do you prove from scriptures? Because this is basically talking about the Old Testament, like a comparison of the Old Testament and the New Testament. So how do you prove from scriptures that Jesus Christ is the Messiah? So there's a comparison of the words of the prophet and the manifestation in Jesus Christ. So it was really interesting. I think that's my personal favorite from the chapter. Then I liked the part where Paul had a vision in which the Lord told him, "Do not be afraid." And I like how it didn't stop there. It said, "Do not be afraid." Why? For I am with you. So yes, I think that was my second favorite part of the chapter. So yes, that's it for Acts chapter 18.